All right. A little late start to our stream today. Hello, everyone.
No.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I
Good.
just right before we started, spilled some water on my shirt, so I look very adult and professional right here. So
You know, I forgot little lore drop about our friend Will. I forgot a little bit of a spiller.
yep. Unfortunately, I can't even
So
deny it. But I saw we got the memo today. We're kind of
yeah,
matching tones here.
yeah.
Something in the air. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. Doing just okay, unfortunately. But you know, it's Friday and gonna watch Frozen with my kids tonight. So
Oh,
can't go wrong
first
there.
one?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Are they big fans?
They are.
Yeah.
My 2-year-old pretty much just loves anything my daughter, his sister, likes to do. So she's a big Frozen fan. So naturally, he is as well.
That makes sense.
Anywho, what do you got on the docket this weekend?
Tomorrow got a little pool party for one of my nephews turning 2.
You going home?
No, so I use that term not officially, but it's Ashley's sisters.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you were going to say, I'm not going. I'm just saying the party is tomorrow. So.
But yeah, so I think, I don't know how long that affair is going to last. Hopefully not too long since it's a 2-year-old, but pretty much the whole day marked off for that. And then nothing else really.
It's a wise move, marking the whole day off.
Yeah. Figure better safe than sorry. You know?
How old's the nephew?
Turning 2.
Okay, yeah. I gotcha. Cool.
Well, yeah, you know, just some big, important plans there. But yeah, not too much else.
Well, let's get into it today. We had a Critical Role ep last night. Did you finish it?
I did not. Did you?
I went to bed after the break, so I don't have
too.
the second half.
I was fighting to stay awake last night, so I decided to just finish it this weekend sometime.
Yeah.
Although I won't say what, but I got on Twitter to tweet out that we were doing this, and I got spoiled on something, which is unfortunate. But just like it just happened to be like the first thing on my Twitter homepage. I won't say anything obviously because I don't want to spoil you, but yeah.
It's amazing how I somehow avoid like these in the moment spoilers, though I am so quick to click on the spoiler tag.
Yeah.
So
I usually I guess usually I'm watching the episode live, but like I couldn't tell you the last time I had something spoiled for me in Critical Role, so it's bound to happen at some point.
Have you seen this theory that Ludinus is Asmodeus?
No.
It's something I spotted recently. But that like this whole kill the gods things is actually like a scheme to kill the prime deities.
Oh wow. That's interesting. So like is the theory that he like literally is, or he's just like in service too?
That he literally is.
Huh.
So
I don't know how that would be possible with the divine gate, but that's interesting.
Hey, this is a deep Reddit theory. It doesn't the details don't really matter. So
fair enough.
Speaking of Ludinus, we got some animated responses on our latest video in terms of some people who are not too happy with our pro Ludinus take.
Oh, you know what? I guess I haven't even checked the comments recently. People are mad at us?
Only a couple people were kind of animated about our take. So I was just like, sorry.
I'll have to check that out after we finish streaming here.
Yeah.
You know, I figured it wasn't going to be a popular opinion, and it's not like we're saying Ludinus is a great guy or anything.
Well, yeah, and let's be clear, guys, we're never wrong. So
that's the most important takeaway
here. But we also have, let's see. So we had CR last night. We have the stream today. We're wrapping up our Calamity Watch Party on Sunday. So you guys should check that out. And then we'll have Worlds Beyond early next week. And then 2 weeks from today, we have the one shot, the Of Husk and Seed one shot.
Is it going to be on Friday?
Yes, it's on Friday. Yep.
Exciting.
So,
and so is the session 0 next week then?
yes, next Friday.
Interesting.
So
Very
all of a sudden I'm like, it's not today, right? No, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, in 2 weeks. 23rd. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. Beautiful. I assume, I mean, I don't know. Are we gonna stream it in the Discord?
Yeah, I think
like
so.
Last time?
Yeah, I think we'll do that.
So yeah, so for even of those of you that didn't unfortunately get to make it in, we will, just like last time, be live streaming in Discord for anyone that wants to watch.
Right.
But I assume also, like last time, we won't actually be posting it anywhere.
Right. We might put the audio up on the podcast if people sign off on it. Which people signed off on the previous one, Tomb of the Warlord. But it is a very big, it's like 100 gigs.
Like 8 hours, right?
I think even 100 gigs is under, I think it was way more than that, actually, now I'm thinking about it.
Really?
I had to pay for more.
The video file, right?
Right.
The audio file
right.
wouldn't be that big,
yeah.
Right.
But I had to pay for more Google Drive space just to put it in the Google Drive.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So, because I didn't want to lose the file, and it was too big for my hard drive. So,
wow.
But yeah, I need to work through the audio still to get it posted. So, anyway. But yeah, and then I guess like randomly in the news, I saw that the Russo brothers are making $80 million on the 2 Avengers movie, and Robert Downey Jr. is making, quote, significantly more.
I believe that.
Yeah, I mean he's go ahead.
Making $80 million for both.
I think maybe per, because it seems like it'd be kind of low for both, right?
Yeah, I mean obviously that's a crazy amount of money, but it seems low for like the prestige they now have. And for 2 movies, and it's 2 people.
Yeah, I would
be like,
I would have to assume there's some kind of like, is royalty the right word? Commission?
I know what you're talking, like the back end.
Yeah, like a percent of the box office or something.
Yeah.
Because they're going to sell like crazy, right? I mean, the tickets are going to sell like crazy, but can you imagine getting an $80 million paycheck?
No.
Like,
not at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's been times I've had 10K in my account, like when I sold my house, and I was like, I am rich forever. It's 0 now, but anyway.
Yeah, I couldn't even fathom it. It would be weird.
Yeah. What kind of money changes a person?
Probably does.
Yeah, I guess so. So speaking of, I barely mentioned it last week. I kind of stay out of the Twitch YouTube drama, but I've been following this Mr. Beast stuff. Have you been following it yourself?
No, not only from what you told me last time, basically.
Well, it's hard to like really get like a unproduced take on it, because like the YouTube thumbnail is like Mr. Beast is so done, and you're like, okay, well, whatever. But all that to say, I mean, if some of the rumors or allegations are true, for me, it's kind of like, there's just another like super successful person who's kind of a douchey person in real life. But I guess, like I said, when you make that much money, I guess it does really change someone.
So what is it? I mean, we don't have to get into it, but I'm familiar with the whole drama situation around his friend.
Ava Chris Tyson.
Yeah,
that one
was like texting a minor or something. But so is that not, you're talking about other stuff?
Yes. Yeah.
So like, what did he do?
Well, so there was the Ava Chris Tyson stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There was the illegal lottery stuff, which I don't know how big of a deal that really is, because the description of it to me sounded like early 2000s YouTube, like everyone doing giveaways like this.
Yeah.
Separate from that is the allegation that he employed a registered sex offender on his team and was in part of his videos. And there being like this controversy around like, why would he have that person on his team when the channel is mostly catered to younger people? And then also this employee, I'd say a few employees who've been coming out who worked for Mr. Beast, who have all been having severely negative descriptions of working for him and descriptions about him. And trauma that they go through now because of their experience working there.
Oh, wow.
Again, it's hard to know like how much is like produced content, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's probably unfair to not give Mr. Beast the benefit of, whatever the response that comes out from his team will be. But anyway,
Right.
it's just internet drama, I guess. But
I mean, it was bound to happen at some point. I've just been waiting for like the world to turn on him a little bit. Not that like I think he deserves it. I just feel like that's natural when you get to like
yeah,
such a big place. So
right.
interesting.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else is like in the news that I've been following lately.
The news.
This is our in the news section. The world still sucks.
Again, what is I feel like there was something with CR, but I can't think of it now.
We chatted a little bit in the Discord last night around just like people's takes on CR. And the question I asked around this topic was regarding a Reddit thread where someone said like basically something about MITs and how they were surprised that CR was doing like a separate MITs channel. And the way that it was described was like because of the huge failure that was Candela Obscura. And it was just a very interestingly phrased comment. So what I had asked in the Discord was like, for you guys who watch Candela, would you call it a massive failure? And it seems like people have thought of it that way simply because it hasn't had the millions upon millions of levels of engagement that we've seen with Critical Role, which to me seems kind of unfair. You're not going to replace Critical Role or the main campaign with this content, but all this to say, I don't know if this is what you're referring to, but it does seem like there is like constant chatter about people who are maybe not overthinking is the right word, but like looking into things as something behind that decision rather than it just being what it is at face value. Another good example. So I mentioned Candela and like, oh, this is what's really happening with Candela, yada, yada. And they're, it was a huge failure. The other one would be things like the Marisha and Liam thing with the sword. And people being like, Liam was so mad at Marisha.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff. And then Liam was like, it was literally my favorite thing in the campaign so far. And then there was another thing too. I can't remember the exact detail, but I think it was a 4-sided dive maybe where they were talking about people having conversation like that and then being like, we're just having fun. Like, but anyway.
Yeah. It definitely feels like that's always just going to be a part of it really at this point. And on that note, I actually saw last night, Matt, somebody had tweeted, that the meme of like the guy sitting at the table and it's like, change my mind. And there's like a sign on the front.
Yeah. Pretty, Steve Crowder is his name.
Oh, it's like that image. And it was like, not all DMs need to be striving to be Matt Mercer or something, which is just like, a take that comes out every once in a while.
Yeah.
And Matt responded to it and he's like, yeah, like I don't think that either. And so you could just tell that like, and he even mentioned it. He's like, why are we still doing this after 10 years? And the guy that originally posted it like started sucking up to Matt a bit. And I was like, okay. But I just since we're talking about this, it's funny that like literally last night, Matt even like felt the need to chime in on some of that stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, to that guy's credit, I mean, if Brennan Lee Mulligan responded to anything I said, I would probably be like, and I love you, and I love you, and I love you. So I can kind of get him, goozing hard over Matt. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, like social media in general, like it gets kind of tiresome, like how analytical people get. Like, here's my take on this. And like, I don't know. Sometimes I think things are they are what they are at face value. Which, by the way, this topic also makes me think about, have you seen this dead internet theory? Are you familiar? Have you heard the term?
Dead internet theory.
So,
but like,
and I'm going to butcher it for the listeners. But the basic premise of this, and apparently there's been history around this, like people talking about one day the internet will be like this. But basically, and this is actually a bit unrelated to what we're talking about, but essentially, the internet will be so driven by like engagement and metrics and algorithms that eventually all the content you see is not original content or like original conversation, but either bots or reposts or, you know, things. It's like when you see like a Reddit post that people are like, wow, this is incredible, but it was posted like 50 times over the last, there's something original about it. But then also what we're seeing this come out, the way this is coming out also is people who are posting like certain takes on social media, but they're actually a bot. Or a great example of this would be like when you look at a Reddit thread and people are commenting on the Reddit thread, and then someone like 5 replies down is like, hey, that person at the top of the comment chain, that's a bot. That's not a real person.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the premise of all of it. As it's been described, like we're quickly moving towards a dead internet where there's not any actual real chatter or discussion or original content either.
Yeah. That's definitely what Twitter feels like now.
Yeah.
Like ever since Elon took it over, like it really feels like it's all like the same 6 things that are trying to get engagement bait, and like there's no actual like do you remember, I don't know if you how much you used Twitter like back in the day.
Almost none at all.
But like I've been on it like on some of my accounts for like 15 years at this point, and it's just so different than it used to be. Like it used to be my like favorite thing to like go and like just, it was kind of like a message board, you know. It was like the first like kind of worldwide message board. I feel like that's how it like operated at first.
Yeah.
Text only, obviously, because Reddit is kind of that now, but yeah, I just feel like it's completely different now.
Yeah, ever since they changed it where you couldn't view it without an account, which I think is such a strange move. I don't even get on it anymore. I would occasionally get on it. I don't have an account on Twitter, or not an active one, but I would occasionally get on just to see what certain people that I follow were talking about.
Yeah.
Like maybe like a different ESPN personality or what have you. But now I don't even do that, because anytime I've ever tried to, it's like, you must log in to, you know, view our content. So
yeah, well, you've got the Pixelbits account if you want to just log in to see what people are saying.
I guess so. Following up some conversation in chat, Eric mentioned the problem with the dead internet theory is it seems to assume that 8 billion people will stop talking. And I think it's more of like the algorithms are going to continue to be so directed towards engagement that unoriginal content is what constantly crowds out original thought in conversation. But I could be also totally wrong. This is like, it's like through osmosis that I've been putting together my understanding of this theory. And then Dop said, he said, I love how this is a controversial take maybe. I love how the MCU was made by almost exclusively B movie directors. Russo brothers' filmography is so bad. Despite this, they made the Infinity War films. I don't know enough about filmography to know like what's good or not. I will say I loved the movies, and I also loved the A Fistful of Paintballs. Is that what it's called? From the community episode. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't know enough about filmography to even know anything about that. But if you have anything specific or like a specific point, like a critique, I know I'd love to hear it. But
I don't know if this is what they're referring to or not, but the Russos, I think, originally were B-list because they were unknown, like completely. Like they, you know, got plucked from TV to come do the movies. And I will say, everything they've done since Captain America and Avengers has kind of fallen flat.
Okay.
And I would agree with that. Like, do you see like the Gray Man?
I did. It was okay.
It
was
pretty
good.
mediocre.
I'm glad yeah.
For like it should have and could have been like way better. I think like great cast, cool idea, but it was just kind of forgettable.
Right.
And I think everything they've done since Infinity War has kind of been like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So could be a fair take.
But I have faith in them in this realm, so I'm excited for them for the MCU stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't be, but
Elitist Jake mentioned my Twitter is just all bots following me more every day. The least they could do is retweet my stuff.
Right?
Maybe one day. Who knows? So anyway. Well, let's move on to what are you playing these days, my friend? I saw you logged into Hearthstone to do it's like an anniversary or something, or I got an email about it, but I didn't log in.
About me logging in?
No, about the
he's back.
The anniversary gift or something.
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
Not sure.
Well, you know me.
You still do your dailies?
I like to farm my gold.
You still do your dailies?
So I actually have not been for like the past month or two. But so the other day I was like, oh yeah, let me just see like what's going on if I've missed anything cool. And I just so happened to notice that I don't know if there was like a new expansion or something that most recently came out, but yeah, there was like a free card, so I claimed that and then I did some of my dailies. But which aside from that, which I wouldn't even really call gaming, because I literally get on and like min-max the daily. Like I'll lose 3 games as fast as possible.
Yeah.
With the class that I need to play. But yeah, I haven't really played anything.
That's gaming. That's gaming today.
Yeah. The Elden Ring DLC is still like the next thing on my list.
Yeah. But I'm excited to play that and try that.
Have you had any time to play?
I only played once this week. And I'll play probably tonight. The WoW Pandaria remix is ending in a week or so. So I'm also trying to finish getting all of my... I haven't been able to play that either. And so I have some stuff I really need to finish getting all the... I have like a handful of mounts left that I still need to buy. So fortunately, like the most expensive ones I already got like back in the day. The most expensive one I bought it back in the day. So the Alani, the red dragon that like you had to get the sky shards to.
Oh right.
You know, so I just bought it my mage for like days until finally he had 10. Actually, I bought it so long that I had 10 and then 6 more. Like I think I didn't check it for a long time, and then I was like, oh man, I should take a look at that.
Can you like? I know not now, but like, were those something you could like sell?
I don't know.
Other people?
Maybe you could. I'm actually not sure. But I remember I then bought the next expansion was Warlords of Draenor, and I bought it into that, and then I got banned. So and then I was like, dang it. But then I remember I sent like the classic Blizzard ticket, like I don't know what happened. And then the response was pretty, they didn't say it this way because it was more like customer servicey, but it was pretty much like, we know for sure that you bought it. And I was just like, okay, I guess I'll just stop playing for 6 months or however long it was.
Pirate Software is?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know how he used to work for Blizzard?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think he used to even be part of the team that would like ban people. So he's talked about that a bunch. And he said they had like a wall of all of those types of messages that people sent them about like, I didn't do it. Or like it was, I only did it once. Made me think of that.
My favorite thing is the things you see online where the person's like, it's like they're so guilty. Where they're like, I didn't do anything, but my brother installed something on the computer. I saw him installing something. Maybe that's it, like, and you're like, it's a very precise detail that you remembered there. So, yeah.
Have you, I forgot what it was called. The War Within. Have you been playing the?
Yeah, I've done a little. I've done just like a few hours of it, so it's fun just to collect stuff. But yeah. Does
that come out this month?
That comes out on the 19th, I think. 10 days from now.
Are you going to be assuming you have the time jumping into that, or?
I still haven't bought it yet. I don't have the money to buy it yet.
How much is a WoW expansion these days?
It's like $80, I think. $70.
No way.
I haven't actually looked at the price. Let me look real quick. Let's see.
That's crazy. If so,
$50. Okay. But it's for an expansion. But yeah, $50. The heroic, which gives like a free boosted amount, is $70, and then the epic, I don't know what's in the epic, is $90.
Wow.
And then how much is the Diablo expansion? Let's see. Nope, if I can find it. What's it called? Vessel of Hatred?
I don't even know.
That's $40. So, okay. But still, yeah, I haven't had the cash to buy it. So I don't know if I will. I mean, I want to. I just don't know if I can. So we'll see we'll see what happens over the next few weeks. But
I talked to some other people or some random people the other day that found out that they also played Poe, and it made me kind of want to get back into it.
Yeah, dude, that game's amazing. They just had a league come out, and then I just added the composer on LinkedIn 2 days ago, and was pretty much just like, I just love your music, man. So it's the only reason why I'm adding you.
Did they like respond or connect or whatever?
They did not respond. So, which I don't I mean,
give it time.
It's kind of hard. I don't know if you run into this on whatever platform you like to use, but on LinkedIn especially, anytime you get a connection request, it's very hard to genuinely believe that it's not someone trying to sell you something. Almost every time you get a connection request on LinkedIn, someone's trying to sell you something. So
I could see that.
It makes it difficult to like be genuine or people to think you're being genuine. So but I did mention my 2 favorite tracks because you can put a note when you do a connection request. So who knows? But
yeah, I'm a total LinkedIn noob. I know that I probably should, or at least will one day, like get into it, but I never had one. I made one when I applied to Critical Role, and then I have not used it since.
Yeah, I mean it's social media like everything else. It's because my business is B2B. That's why I'm mostly on there. But anyway, well, let's get to the chat, a little chitty chat. I think I saw a question from Eric earlier. Let's see here,
bro. While you're doing that, one thing we do need to do at some point before the sun burns out is continue our Baldur's Gate co-op playthrough.
I just saw. Did you watch the Baldur's Gate 3 one shot?
No.
It was published a few days ago, but Abria was the DM, and Jolly Bumani was, and Brendan Lee Mulligan were both players amongst a couple others. It was fun to watch, but it made me think. I was like, dude, it's like the 1-year anniversary of Baldur's Gate 3, and I've still only played like 2 hours of it.
I've only played what you and I played that one time.
Yeah, I've played the intro probably 5 times now. So anyway. Okay, so Glimmy said, like Matt adding Dunamancy, infusing probability and more time gravity into D&D spells, what kind of mechanism would you like to see added into D&D? It's a tough question.
Oh man.
I feel like
I don't think I'm equipped to answer this because I'm not like that well versed. Like I don't even know what's not already there to like have a cool suggestion. I'm gonna think about it, but I don't know if I'll have a good answer for this.
For me, I'm so immersed in like homebrew content that it's hard for me to distinguish what is actual core like player's handbook content versus I've just used that or played with that so long that I think that it is. So like a good example would be my wife has played a druid with the Circle of the Beast subclass, which if you're not familiar, that is not a subclass, but it's basically a druid playing as a ranger is pretty much what it is. But we played that because that campaign's been going for, dude, I think almost 3 years now. You know, I've just lost track of like what's homebrew and what's not. I would have said probably originally like a more tinkerer kind of class, which we have the artificer. But the way I've seen the artificer played, and I haven't played it in high level content, the way I've seen it played is much more around like buffing and like temporary hit points and things like that. I would love a tinkerer that's not so much like trap focused, but very much, and I think Artificer actually has this too, construct oriented, trap oriented, affecting the battlefield. So not necessarily a trap, but like something that affects the environment in some way. That kind of play style is really interesting to me. There's a class like that in Gloomhaven. I think it's actually called Tinkerer, which is kind of fun. And then separate from that, I'd love to see not a healing class, but like a full-on support class that still like does damage and like attacks and all this stuff, but like through what they're doing, it can heal, but it could buff like the fellow players and things like that. I don't know what that would be, but the tough thing about D&D 2 is like modifiers become very powerful. So like giving someone advantage is pretty huge, and even guidance can make a big difference. So I don't know how that would play out like balance wise, but those are two things that come to mind. And then Dop actually just mentioned I'd die for an alchemist class. That's a great example of
that would be cool.
Yeah, it would be a really cool class added.
Yeah, I love all of those ideas. I think it'd be really cool to have a more like, and I'm sure this exists in small pockets in like a lot of the classes, but just like a full on support that's not healing. I think would be really cool.
Alita said, I want more vestiges. I've been using that system for item advancement in my own campaign. I'd love to see it more common. Giving players cool, impactful magic items early shouldn't be painful. I really like this take. I think it's a great idea for giving your players like a sense of progression beyond like their level. And the other thing I really like about this too is it gives the player a sense of autonomy of how they want to progress their character, in the sense of like, I have this item, I haven't unlocked it yet, but like anytime we get around the campfire or we get a down moment in the campaign, I'm wanting to know how I can advance this part of my quest. And I feel like that's kind of a cool detail beyond just, hey, everyone leveled up. When it's done correctly, because I have an item like that in one of my campaigns, and it's like level 1, and the player's had it for like a year and it's still level 1. He's just like, yeah, it's level 1, And I even on the item, I put like level 2 question mark to like show that there's more to unpack here. But he's just never taken the bait for it. So Elitas, you might have some good ideas for engaging players with that kind of stuff and what that might look like. But anyway,
yeah, I think that's really cool, and it would be cool to almost like, you wouldn't have to like base the campaign on it, but
right?
Especially if everyone in the party had something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's making me think of you'll have to remind me which WoW expansion it was, but the one where like everyone like had their like legendary weapon.
Yeah, Legion.
Yeah, and then like you leveled it up on like a certain path. Like that would be like a really cool thing in like a D&D campaign, I feel like.
Yeah, giving people an opportunity for ownership, I think is always it's a great decision to make. So speaking of playing D&D, the summer break is ending, and my 2 campaigns have both been on break since April, I think. And one of them's finally back on Monday, which I'm excited about.
Oh, wow. Is that your main one or your...
That's my once a month one. The main one's going to be a while because we took a break.
Somebody had a kid or something?
Someone had a baby, and then it was a rough, entry into the world of parenthood. We knew there was a second couple who was also going to have a baby, and we thought we would maybe squeeze in a couple of sessions, but the person who had the first baby was like, it's just really tough right now. Well, now the second couple is having their baby on Monday. And then probably in a few months, which for you guys who haven't had a baby before, it takes a while to get back to normal. Well, a few months down the road, a third couple is having a baby.
Oh no.
So I'm like, all right, 2025 for that campaign probably. So anyway, but yeah.
Well, that's exciting that the other one's getting back on the wagon.
Yeah. So anyway,
exciting.
Well, anything else that comes to mind for you?
Not really, man. Unfortunately, I don't have too much to yap about this week.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in today, and tune into our Discord on Sunday. We have people who join every day. Join our Discord and check out our Calamity Watch Party, the finale for episode 4, the second part. 7:30. Yep. 7:30 on Sunday, and then Worlds Beyond to follow shortly after.
Yep.
All right.